And we are live. Good to see you, friends. Central Florida Weather Live, the show for this Monday, March the 3rd. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Coming up in this live stream, we're going to be talking about some big changes to our weather here over the next couple of days. We're going to be watching a storm system moving into Central Florida with the opportunity for some strong, maybe even some isolated severe storms. So I'm going to break that down for you guys coming up. Great to see you guys on this Monday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. As always, Central Florida Weather Live, the show is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They cover homeowners, condo owners, and associations across the entire state. Anything that can impact you or your property, think hail, hurricane damage, burst pipes, car accidents. They're going to walk you through every step of the insurance claim process, offering free consultation and policy reviews if that situation arises in your life. Go to leanonmelaw.com if you would like more information, and their website is at the bottom of the screen. So we appreciate them for being the sponsor here of CFLW. Good to see you guys. Hope things are going well. All right, so let's break down kind of what's happening on this Monday. First of all, what a weekend, by the way. What an absolutely great weekend. I will say, I kind of blew the forecast on Saturday with the cloud coverage. Way more clouds out there than I expected. We had that little spin and that frontal boundary that never got as far south as I expected it to. So the air was dry, but we had that thin layer of clouds on Saturday. But man, yesterday was absolutely pristine. Chilly start to the day. We talked about this on Friday's live stream, that again, with the air being so dry, you're going to get some big swings from your morning lows to your afternoon high. So let's take a look at those real quick here. Just again, going back to the 7 o'clock hour, you're going to see temperatures in our northwest areas started off in the mid and the upper 40s outside. So places like Inverness and Crystal River were at 45 degrees this morning. Ocala in at 47, DeLand 49, St. Augustine 56, up in Gainesville, they got down to 48. Cross City, a very chilly 38 degrees. 53 at MCO, 54 in Tampa, Titusville 62. Bit of an east wind, and that has allowed temperatures along the east coast to remain a little bit milder. But there's also the opportunity that some of these east winds are going to try and push in just enough moisture to bring a few showers to portions of Brevard and Indian River counties as we go through the day. So a little bit of a change up there with just a little bit more moisture in play. The air is drier out towards our west, so really some beautiful conditions. But you can see at the hour here, the live enhanced this is going to be our high-res visible satellite imagery. You can see some of the clouds coming back on shore. Now, the interesting thing is that the mid-level winds are clearly out of the west. You see that, but the low-level winds are fighting that right now. If we look at Titusville, again, they're going to have an easterly component to the breeze here over the last couple of hours, and that's trying to push just a little bit moisture back on shore. Same situation in the Palm Bay area. Again, a touch of an easterly breeze, easterly component to the wind. Daytona Beach. Now, you get up into the northern sides of Volusia County, and even though we still have a bit of an easterly breeze outside, the moisture content is not as robust. You can clearly see where the thicker clouds are developing along the immediate coastline. So those are the areas that I expect the opportunity for a brief passing shower. Let's take a look at the composite radar here right now. This is the live radar looping up. Now again, what are we looking at here? A sprinkle or two over Vero Beach and Indian River shores, right? Down in Indian River County. But that is the trend for the rest of the afternoon hours, that the best chance might be Indian River County south towards the, Palm Beach Gardens area, West Palm area, but it's not going to shock me if the southern sides of Brevard County pick up a brief shower. And if nothing else, they stick with some cloud coverage. Pretty breezy conditions as well. Good afternoon, Blue Goose. How you doing? Great to see you as always. 64 degrees and partly cloudy. Appreciate you coming in here. Appreciate you dropping the knowledge on us. I certainly encourage that, just like Blue Goose. Let me know in the comment section below where you're viewing from. You have a specific question about the forecast, you can drop that in the comment section below as well. These are the wind gusts of the last few hours. Nothing outrageous, but 20 to 25 mile an hour gusts from time to time. Sustained winds are going to be around 10 miles an hour. Now, the interesting thing is that the winds will be a story over the next couple of days. We are going to have some very breezy conditions ahead of this storm system coming in. Initially, they're going to start off out of the east and then the southeast, and then eventually they're going to turn out of the north. Watch watch this pretty potent storm system comes through, and this will bring us the opportunity for some strong to severe storms. That was the title of this live stream. So again, if you're viewing this live or you're viewing this, in the recorded version, again, just be aware that midweek we're going to be watching out for the opportunity for a few nastier storms to try and work their way in. Notice again, the flow is basically out of the northeast right now, but the winds are relatively light outside of a couple of gusts. When I zoom this out, the big story is going to be happening in the southern plains for today. So let me get back over to the radar here. We have a developing storm system actually back here. Now ahead of it, we have kind of some lingering showers, nothing that's outrageous, right? But over the next 48 hours, we're going to get our first potential spring severe weather outbreak in portions of the southern plains, Arklatex, Mississippi River Valley, maybe the western sides of the Tennessee Valley. Now, again, I know that on the calendar, it doesn't say that it's spring, but meteorological spring begins March 1st, right? So we're a little bit different calendar here when we talk about meteorological spring, summer, fall, winter. Garrett, how you doing, man? Good to see you. North Carolina in the house. Yeah, Blue Goose, that wind is picking up, and it is going to be fresh out there the next couple of days as well. So we got to watch out for that opportunity to see some of these stronger to maybe even potentially severe storms try and work their way into the area. But ahead of it, you can clearly see that the winds are really gusty right now. You see Oklahoma City. It's nothing new in the southern plains. Again, I worked in Oklahoma City for 7 years. This is very common there for this time of the year when we start to get these storms developing. Dew points right now, if you guys know what's called the dry line, you get the drier air that comes off of the Intermountain West and then pushes east with the heat of the day, and then it retreats back west in the evening hours. And along that dry line, it's a very distinct line of moisture difference, and that can really cause these storms to get going gangbusters here. So there's going to be the opportunity today for a lot of severe weather in portions of Oklahoma and northern Texas. So we've got the enhanced area right now in Oklahoma City all the way down to Dallas. And I'm showing you guys this because this is the same storm system that is going to be pushing into our area on Wednesday. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not expecting it to bring a higher end severe weather threat. That is not going to be the case for us. But just to kind of show you how this is going to evolve and the opportunity for some strong to severe storms in our area on Wednesday. But this risk has increased throughout the last 24 hours. The enhanced risk, the orange area, is new from this morning. So again, if you know anyone who lives in Oklahoma City all the way down to Dallas, make sure that they're very weather aware for today. The slight risk area goes all the way up to Wichita, and the slight risk area goes to Abilene. That's the area in yellow. That's kind of the 2 out of the 5 of the scale. And then your marginal risk, which is the darker green, the 1 out of 5. Encompasses all of that. It goes all the way up to the northern sides of Kansas. Generalized thunderstorms here all the way up at portions of the western Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, including all of Missouri. So this is what's going to be traversing east over the next 48 hours. So that's what it looks like for today. For tomorrow, we have another risk of very potent storms, including some large long track tornadoes. It's not a great situation. There's a ton of juice in the atmosphere. You have a big time digging trough, and you have warm moisture laden air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. It's all going to spell, again, the first potent severe weather outbreak potential here. Southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, southern sides of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, so places like Little Rock, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, Hattiesburg, towards the coast. We're getting really close to places like New Orleans and Biloxi and Mobile and the western side of our panhandle. Now, this is a different area from yesterday. It's a much more expanded area and goes farther south and east. And again, even for tomorrow, we're already at 3 out of 5 on the scale, all right, for the opportunity for some very potent storms. If we take a look at the probability of tornadoes, you can clearly see that we're already in this 10% ring, which, by the way, is pretty significant. It means that within 25 miles of any point within this area in yellow, there is a 10% chance for an EF2 or stronger tornado. All right, so you get the idea that all modes of severe weather are likely. And again, that's for tomorrow. When we take a look at today, and I back this up, let me swing this back over here. Let's see here. Let's go to, actually, let me do this, day 1, and then go to tornado. You can see again that 10% ring is there. So it's troublesome. There's no doubt about it. Puerto Rico, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Obviously, look, I do Media Mundo as well. Puerto Rico has some really intense storms on the northwest side of the island today. Also got some reports of earthquake, a little bit of a rumble there. Wow, I'll be covering Puerto Rico's weather on Media Mundo later today, but appreciate you coming in and dropping the knowledge, man. Thank you very much for that. So you guys get the idea that this is the storm system that I'm going to be watching over the next couple of days that's going to be impacting our weather. I do that every time. Literally, I want to go to the southeast and I hit the northeast. Now ahead of it, we're going to get a few showers kind of rolling through I-10, but this is not going to be impacting our weather for the most part. The next couple of days, we're going to be high and dry until those storms want to move into our area on Wednesday. So let's take a look at a couple of things, if you will, here. First of all, again, we got to look at our cameras because that is a great thing. Live look outside right now, a little bit of cloud coverage there from the Disney cam. Again, this camera is just 1 mile from the Magic Kingdom, and we're actually looking back towards the Disney property. But again, it's a beautiful day, light winds. Temperatures are going to warm up really nicely. This is going to be one of those beautiful afternoons with temperatures that'll be in the mid 70s. And then eventually, you know, we're going to get even some warmer air coming in for tomorrow as well. That's the live look from the Conway cam. Just a couple of nice little fair weather clouds billowing up those cotton balls. Oh, there's a little bit of a, you know, darker base here or there. That just shows you that there's a touch more moisture in the atmosphere compared to yesterday. And just a little bit of lift, right? So these are not just the thinner, high, wispy clouds. They're developing a little bit lower in the atmosphere, so they're not made of ice crystals. They're made of water vapor, and there's a little bit of vertical development. Now, again, this is nothing like what we would see, obviously, in the summer months, but it is, if this were, let's say, July or August, this would kind of be the beginnings of what more than likely would be an active sea breeze day. But for today, these are going to be your fair weather clouds. And then I take you live to our new camera. If you guys haven't tuned in since Friday, this is a live look from the Winter Garden area. That is on the far western sides of Orange County, kind of on the outskirts of Metro Orlando. It's not really attached to Orlando, but people would probably consider it to be part of the Orlando metro area there on the far western sides of Orange County. This camera is looking off towards the west. You can see a couple of developing clouds in this area. There is a lake down here as well. Going to be a great camera to look at because as it's looking west, we will be able to see these fronts coming in very easily. Obviously, a lot of sky in this camera as well. And that's something that we want to bring to you guys here at Central Florida Weather Live, is more and more live cameras to help tell the weather story. So look for that as well. Thank you, Blue Goose. Garrett, trying to play a couple of holes of golf. How's the weather up there today? You know, I haven't actually looked. But if you can, get out there and enjoy it. Thanks, Blue Goose. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the goal is to continue to add cameras. We might do that in a trickle format. But there is a possibility that we might add a lot at one point in time. So look for that here in the next couple of months. Again, we might be slowly rolling them out, or it might be a mass rollout. I'll keep you guys updated on that. 58, it's not bad. Early March, 58, I think. Again, I love the cooler weather. You know, not a big fan of being stuck in it forever. By the way, my maybe third favorite day of the year is coming up on Sunday. I would say it's probably my wife's favorite day of the year. Do you guys know what it is coming up on Sunday? Yeah, North Carolina will fire conditions. I know that Myrtle Beach, South Carolina was just on fire yesterday. Daylight saving time returns Sunday. We're springing forward on Sunday, guys. My wife, who is no fan of it hitting sunset early in the day, has to be elated that we finally got it. It's almost like a struggle. Like you're on the struggle bus through December and January and February, like, oh my God, when are we going to get back to daylight saving time? By the way, you know, it's a federal order, right? So it has to be by the federal government, but the federal government just wants to keep us on daylight saving time year round. I'm absolutely okay with that. Don't keep us on standard time. That would be no good. But keep us on daylight saving time would be fantastic. Yeah, we spring forward on Sunday, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And again, that helps to, you know, as we get longer days, we get a little bit more storm activity. It all kind of goes together. All right, so let's get back to the maps here and kind of break down how this is going to play out for our forecast. And then we're going to talk about Wednesday, because that is going to be the big weather day here in the area. And there you go. Again, temperatures warming up. Not that bad. 40s and 50s in North Carolina. I love it, man. North Carolina is such a beautiful state. All right, so let's break this down a couple different ways. First of all, I'm going to switch over to the HER model. Let me bring this up. And the first thing we're going to actually look at is going to be winds. So let me bring up these winds, and the first thing I just want to talk about is how these winds are going to evolve. Let me just make sure that these things want to cooperate here. Oh, I know why. All right. Again, if there's, give me the arrows. There we go. If there's plenty of things I can do with these models, but even if I set something up in the background and then I look at a different model before I come on, it doesn't revert back to my preset. I have to actually go back and reset it. So anyway, yeah, dry here, North Carolina, no doubt about it. By the way, too, most of Central Florida is either abnormally dry or in a slight drought ourselves. We have been a little bit drier than what we would typically see for the January, February timeframe. Now look, it's the driest months of the year here in Central Florida, but we've just run a little bit drier on top of that as well. Jay is dropping the knowledge of tornadoes and to be vigilant there too as well. Suppose we need to get rain on Wednesday. Yeah, it's coming your way, Garrett, no doubt about it. You are actually in a more prime spot for severe weather on Wednesday than what we're going to see here in Central Florida, but we can take a look at both. I'm happy to do that. So let's break down now that the model's fully loaded up. First of all, the winds. Now the HRRR is not going to get us to Wednesday afternoon yet because it's only 48 hours and you know it runs 3 hours out ahead of time. Oh my goodness. Come on, mouse. My mouse has been, there we go, a little finicky lately. All right, so let's break this down. You can see the time frame on the top left-hand side of your screen. So this is going to be tomorrow morning. Notice our winds are going to start to turn a little bit more out of the east to southeast. As I have already mentioned, along the immediate east coast, there is the opportunity for a couple of sprinkles to move on shore. Watch those showers just kind of ride up. So for later tonight, and overnight and tomorrow, and I do have some rain in the forecast for places like Merritt Island and Indian River Shores and Titusville and the Cape and maybe even the southern sides of Volusia County as well. All right, those are all possibilities to see at least a couple of showers for tomorrow. But you can clearly see that rain moving in with the easterly breeze. That's the only spots that I expect there to be a couple of showers later today or tomorrow. Just a little bit of an easterly component to the wind. Has just enough moisture to kind of juice up the atmosphere just a bit. The bigger story then, ultimately on our Tuesday, is going to be those winds beginning to really freshen up late Tuesday and into Wednesday. So tomorrow, we're going to have some winds, easily 15 to 25, but some higher gusts. And then we watch the opportunity for these storms begin to roll into the area. So again, the HRRR model gets us out to 7 a.m. on our Wednesday morning. You can see that line of showers and storms. The pinks there are going to be winds of at least 25 miles an hour sustained. There's going to be some higher gusts. And the farther north that you go, these storms are going to be held a little bit more together. There's a little bit more energy, a little bit more instability in the atmosphere, and a slightly better chance for some severe weather out of this for Wednesday to areas to our north as well. All right, so let me zoom this out just a little bit more. I'm going to loop this up fully for you guys so you can see it. All right, so again, watch the east winds bring in a couple of showers tonight, tomorrow. The east winds turn to the south. Temperatures tomorrow are going to be in the 80s, guys. That's what we get sometimes ahead of these potent fronts because you get the south winds, the moisture-laden air, but that's also helping to fire up and bring the juice into the atmosphere as well. So that's what it looks like on the HRRR. I'm going to go over to the NAM model now, and we're going to take a look at that model because it allows us to get a little bit farther out in time and carry this through. All right, and this is the NAM 3 kilometer, so it is higher resolution as well. I'm going to drop off the wind arrows here, make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in, by the way. If you want to do me a really quick favor, again, helping the channel to grow is a very important thing at this point in time. So thank you for liking this live stream. Again, just click that like button, that thumbs up. That really does help things out. And if you haven't subscribed to Central Florida Weather Live, please subscribe as well. Again, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this in the recorded version here on the CFLW YouTube channel, I appreciate you guys doing both, regardless of when you're watching this. And again, you know, the reason why I do these shows is to just have constant contact with you guys and get you guys prepared for situations like this. This is always going to be a live only channel, right? So if we do have impactful weather on Wednesday and it's appropriate to come on and talk about it live, I'm going to do that, right? That's the most important thing. But these shows are designed to kind of keep you guys up to date with the weather and kind of talk about the next heads up to where we might actually get some active weather and just have a general discussion. Again, this is what I love doing here on the digital side of this, is that the interaction, right? You don't get this when you watch television, guys. You don't get to talk to the meteorologist in real time, but you and I can chat, we can interact, you can ask questions, we can talk about specific things, and that's what I want to do more and more of here on this channel. So I appreciate those, seriously, who do take a second to stop by and say hi, even if it's just a hi, or if you have a specific question, please drop it in the comment section below as well. All right, so we're picking up the NAM model for Wednesday morning. Again, this is a high resolution model, 3-kilometer model. It's pretty darn good. You notice that the line really holds together pretty good from the Jacksonville, Gainesville area back into Marion, Levy, and the northern sides of Citrus County. As we go farther south during the day, the model trends are trying to break apart these showers and storms a little bit, okay? This is why I'm not overly concerned about the opportunity for severe weather in our area. And you can clearly see that as we get into the afternoon hours here, the NAM does begin, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more here, the NAM really does begin to break apart some of this activity. And you can see that. Now, with the moisture-laden air here in the western sides of the state, we could get a little bit more activity over portions of Pasco and Hernando, maybe even Citrus, Pinellas and Hillsborough, and Manatee and Sarasota counties. Those areas could see a little bit stronger activity. It's possible. And then as we get into the mid-afternoon hours during the I-4 corridor and areas off towards the east, this should begin to break apart. Again, not fully. Still expecting there to be some gusty winds, some heavy rain, and more than likely the biggest impact, if we're going to get a special weather statement or a severe thunderstorm warning, will be the winds. Winds of maybe up to 50, 60 miles an hour within a couple of these lines of storms. And it will really depend on whether these storms fully hold together, right? You know, as they come in, if they come in a straight line, you could really have some wind gusts that could be relatively significant. If these storms begin to break apart a little bit, more than likely we're not going to have as big of a push of a wind associated with the individual storms, but there could still be some stronger storms as well. Thank you, Blue Goose. I appreciate that indeed. So again, this is going to be Wednesday afternoon, guys. So this is what you need to prepare for Wednesday, the opportunity for showers and storms, especially in our northern and our northwest areas, to move through. Biggest threat is going to be some winds, maybe 50 to 60 miles an hour, heavy rainfall, a fair amount of lightning. Now let's take a look at what the Storm Prediction Center has for Wednesday, all right? So Storm Prediction Center has most of our area under the green marginal risk. That's a 1 out of 5, right? So it's not just the generalized thunderstorm risk from portions of northern Brevard County through Osceola and Polk, but for most of our area, including Orlando, Tampa, Daytona Beach, Palm Coast, St. Augustine, Ocala, we're all under this marginal risk for severe storms. Okay, so 1 out of 5 on the scale. Nothing higher end. This green area goes all the way to southeast Georgia. Then you pick up that slight risk again that encompasses most of the Carolinas, especially the central and the eastern sides of North and South Carolina through Virginia, the Delmarva Peninsula, just close to Philadelphia there. That's going to be where we're going to have a little bit more significant potential for some severe storms on Wednesday, but you notice that there's not an enhanced area. So the slight risk is your 2 out of 5. We don't have the orange risk on Wednesday, a 3 out of 5. If we take a look at the probabilistic, it's about the same. We're not going to have the probability of tornado, hail, and wind yet on day 3. You only get that days 1 and 2. If there is a ring for even a 2% tornado risk on Wednesday, I will post that in the CFLW YouTube channel on a post. I will obviously keep you guys very weather aware to what's going to be happening on Wednesday. We'll see how it plays out. I will say this, that the potential for this storm system has gone up just a little bit overall. over the past 48 hours to get the enhanced risk for today and the enhanced risk to be a little bit more widespread for tomorrow. If you're just tuning in, again, the storms are developing as we speak over Oklahoma and portions of North Texas. They'll be moving east throughout the day tomorrow, including and really significantly potentially some destructive storms for southern sides of Arkansas, portions of Louisiana and Mississippi, and then working their way off to the east from that. But a big chunk of the upper level energy with this is going to be kind of rotating around and coming up this way. So we're not going to have more than likely the most potent part of that storm to be working its way into the area on Wednesday, but still the opportunity for some strong to severe storms. All right, so let's break down the forecast for you guys. We'll go city by city here. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. Appreciate again everyone chiming in. We're starting off with Orlando. So again, for tomorrow, mostly sunny, breezy. It's going to be a south to a southeast wind. It's much milder tomorrow morning. 60 the morning low, we're up to 76 for the daytime high. Here comes the rain and storms on Wednesday. Now, everyone is going to have a high chance for rain on Wednesday. It's more than anything, just do you have the potential for a strong to severe storm? Generally speaking, again, the farther northwest that you live, this chance is slightly higher. It's not a great chance anywhere, but it's slightly higher. So storms on Wednesday in Orlando, right through the heart of the drive home. I'm sure that's going to be fantastic for the I-4 drive, and just very windy conditions as well. Again, these are going to be south winds ahead of the front that'll turn out of the north. So 83, the daytime high on Wednesday. It will feel like a late spring day on Wednesday. Then behind the front, this is a good, solid, cold front coming in. 54, the morning low on Thursday. A beautiful but much cooler day with a brisk north wind on Thursday, the daytime high of just 66. So 70s tomorrow, 80s Wednesday, 60s on Thursday. Oh, March in Central Florida. We get that sometimes. To Tampa we go. Mostly sunny tomorrow, warmer there. They're up to 82 for the daytime high tomorrow. They will get the opportunity for some stronger storms in portions of Hillsborough and Pinellas County, so Tampa, on over towards St. Pete and Clearwater. Again, about a 70% chance overall for the rain and the storms in your area. Still 80 the daytime high on Wednesday. And then again, you're going to feel the effects of that cold front across the area on Thursday. Sunny and cooler, 65 degrees for the daytime high. So we're down 15 degrees from there. In Ocala, warm and breezy tomorrow, 81 the daytime high. Again, those south winds really cranking it in, and the humidity will be going up. It's going to feel a little bit steamy, relatively speaking, tomorrow afternoon. But again, still a cooler start, 54. Now, stronger storms in Marion County, maybe even an isolated severe storm as well. So again, Marion, Citrus, Levy, Alachua counties, those are some of the areas that I'm highlighting for a little bit better chance to get that marginal severe storm for tomorrow, for Wednesday. 82 the daytime high there, and then we plunge. We're back down to 49 degrees for Thursday morning. So after daytime highs the next couple of days in the lower 80s, places like Ocala and Bellevue and Silver Springs, Micanopy and Gainesville will start off with morning lows in the upper 40s for Thursday. Beautiful crisp day on Thursday across the area, the high there of just 66. Palm Coast, again, mostly sunny, breezy. I can't rule out a sprinkle in Palm Coast, but again, farther north that you go into Flagler, St. John's and Duval counties, the moisture is just not as high of a quality as it is farther south, but a little bit of cloud coverage for sure. 73 the daytime high. Rain and storms widespread in Flagler County for your Wednesday. Palm Coast, Bunnell, Beverly Beach, Flagler Beach, 80 the daytime high, 90% chance for the storms to be moving in. Again, an isolated strong to severe storm, certainly not out of the question. And there's that colder air, 48 to kick off your Thursday in Palm Coast. A kind of jacket weather, windbreaker weather all day long there, playing some golf there at Palm Coast Thursday afternoon, 65. To our friends in Sanford and Seminole County we go. Mostly sunny skies for tomorrow. Again, very breezy conditions, southeast winds around 15 to 25 miles an hour, 76 the daytime high. We will have a 70% chance for showers and storms in Sanford, and again, kind of right on the border of whether any of those will be strong. Wouldn't surprise me we get what we'll call special weather statements. That's going to be for winds of 40 miles an hour and maybe some heavier rain. Hail is probably a non-issue on Wednesday, but I'll keep an eye out for it. 83, the daytime high there for our friends in Sanford. And then that cooler air for Thursday. So 53 the morning low, 67 will be the daytime high. And for our friends in Brevard County in the Melbourne area for tomorrow, again, these are some areas here. So we're talking about Mico and Palm Bay and Sharps and Vieira, Melbourne, Indian River Shores, showers on over towards the Atlantic, Port St. John, Melbourne area, 20% chance for an isolated shower, MEMS included in this as well. And then again, slightly lower chance on Wednesday because that rain and storm activity should be breaking apart as it moves south and east. So it's a 50% chance, and it's later in the day for Melbourne. So kind of late afternoon, maybe through the early evening. And that's one other reason why if we lose the heat of the day before the line of storms moves in on Wednesday in central and southern Brevard counties, we should start to see that intensity come down a bit as well. And then it's just an absolutely gorgeous Thursday. I don't think you can beat this. 56 the morning low, 70 degrees will be the daytime high. So yeah, indeed. All right, so back over to our radar system here. Let's take a look at a couple of different variables. And again, you have a specific question about the forecast, let me know. Yeah, 83 degrees, Garrett. It happens sometimes, man. Water vapor imagery here. You can see again the kind of the moisture content just a little bit sliding through right now. I mentioned this dry line. Here you go. This is that drier air coming out of the Intermountain West, which is going to push into the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, and you get this huge difference in the moisture along a very sharp line, and that is a big focusing mechanism for severe weather this time of the year in the Southern Plains. I mean, it fires off those EF3, EF4, EF5 storms, just depending on obviously what's happening as well with the moisture quality and the dynamics in the mid and the upper levels of the atmosphere. But it's no good. It's very classic, very early in the season, by the way. And we'll just have a little bit of moisture rolling into our area as well. Now, advisories look like this at this point in time. One thing I wanted to mention for any boaters, I mean, I know that we're not doing a lot of beach going so far, but there is a small craft advisory that is going to extend all the way into Wednesday afternoon. Now, it's going to be for the nearshore waters of Brevard County south, right? Not for the nearshore waters from Volusia County north, but then all of the offshore waters, the 20 to 60 nautical mile area will have small craft advisories there. And just to give you an idea, again, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots up to 30 knots, seas running around 5 to 7 feet. That is offshore. The nearshore waters of Brevard County, still 5 to 7 foot seas. They're not expecting there to be much of a difference there, really. So again, keep that in mind if you're a boater. We have small craft advisories for the panhandle as well. And then all of these browns that you see are big time wind advisories. So we're going to have some very windy conditions. I mean, way even more here. Just to give you an idea, Birmingham is expected to have some wind gusts of up to 40 miles an hour here. And again, you've got your fire danger, you've got the high wind watch, and then you're going to end up having the severe weather. Now, the northern side of this is cold enough where we actually have some blizzard warnings up here in the central sides of the plains. My point of showing you all of this is how potent of a storm system this is. There's a ton of juice with it, friends, a ton of energy and stability. You're going to have blizzard conditions up in Nebraska. You're going to have large, long track tornadoes in the southern plains that move through portions of Arklatex, the Tennessee and Mississippi River valleys, and eventually the southeast over the next 48 hours. All right, let's get back to home. Again, if you're just tuning in, appreciate you guys doing so. Thank you for hitting this like button on the live stream for the rest of this afternoon. Looking really nice outside for the most part. Once again, in our far southern areas, southern Brevard, portions of Indian River County, a little bit of an onshore breeze there. Can't rule out a couple of sprinkles, a little bit of cloud coverage developing here, but temperatures are going to warm up very nicely. Almost area wide, we should be in the 70s. St. Augustine could probably hold into the 60s. Same thing for Palm Coast. Daytona Beach has already hit 70. Orlando is already up to 77 there at MCO, including Kissimmee. Homosassa Springs, Crystal River is back up to 72. Tampa 75. So it's a beautiful day today, beautiful day tomorrow, then very warm on our Wednesday. Look for gusts to be in that 15 to 25 mile an hour range today, but we already mentioned that I do expect us to have even stronger wind gusts tomorrow and especially throughout the day on Wednesday. This is your visible satellite imagery here. Again, you can see the onshore winds pushing in some of those low-level winds. The mid-level winds are out of the west. You can see those skirting across the northern part of the state. And this cloud coverage will eventually just build and build and build as this storm system in the southern plains really gets going. It's going to be a big-time story here over the next several days. Friends, how we doing? Everyone doing all right? Anyone have a specific question about the forecast? If you do, now is the time to do it. Once again, daylight saving time returns on Sunday. We're springing forward on Sunday. So I am looking forward to that. get an extra hour of daylight. I'm not looking forward to getting up earlier on Sunday, but it is what it is. All right, friends, again, thank you for liking this live stream. Thank you for subscribing to Central Florida Weather Live if you have not as of yet. Central Florida Weather Live is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida. They're your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They cover the entire state. Anything that could impact you or your property. So, we get a storm come through, you get hail damage, you get wind damage, hurricanes cause some problems to your property, you're in a car accident. They can cover you guys. They'll walk you through every step of the insurance claim process. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. Please reach out to Bobby Lean and the team there, leanonmelaw.com, if you would like more information. And again, we welcome them to being the sponsors here of Central Florida Weather Live. So the situation is going to be this, friends. I will continue to monitor the situation across our area on our Wednesday. Again, at this point in time, most of our area is under what we call a marginal risk for severe storms. It's just a 1 out of 5 on the scale, right? I'll monitor the situation. If things change or if there's some update I need to provide you guys, I will create a post and you will see that here on the CFLW YouTube channel. Just look for that. Like literally you go to the post section and it will be there. If you have notifications on, like you should, by the way, because this is a live only channel, you'll also see that. And obviously, if the weather is active enough that I need to be live on Wednesday to cover it for you guys, I will. I make that determination as we go throughout the day, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. If it's just generalized thunderstorms, more than likely we'll be okay. But if some of the storms start getting rowdy, I'll jump on and we'll cover it live. If I don't see you guys on Wednesday, I'll see you guys Friday afternoon again at 1 o'clock for Central Florida Weather Live. The show will be talking about what's going to be happening for that first weekend where we do have our daylight saving time and the opportunity to get a little bit more potent weather back into the forecast. If we just take a look real quickly at temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, you notice that there's a lot of warmer air coming back into the central and the eastern sides of the U.S. That's more juice here for the early spring months to provide us some active weather. So that's something we'll be talking about for Friday as well. Friends, again, as we leave, thank you so much for liking this live stream. Thank you for telling your friends and family about the channel. And thank you for subscribing if you guys have not as of yet. Have a great rest of your Monday. I'll keep you updated on Wednesday's weather. And if nothing else, I'll see you Friday here at 1 o'clock for the latest edition of CFLW, the show. You all take care. I'll see you then.